14,000 feet of challenging snow-capped rock. Along sheer walls and high stone cliffs, a steep and winding roadway has been blasted into the mountaintop. Here is a natural testing ground, and what a testing ground. For 16 years, the best autos that man produced have battled for supremacy in the national hill climb race. It took the first man who climbed the peak 2 days to reach the top. Today, it takes the average motorist an hour or so. 3 stock Ford V-8 Roadsters did it in less than 20 minutes, but it's a grueling, punishing contest every foot of the way. 3 veterans are ready to start. Here is Glen Schultz. And this is Angelo Schmino. And this is Bus Hammond, all driving Ford V-8 cars. And this year, they shattered existing stock car record for the climb. All 3 of the Ford V-8s were strictly stock cars, with optional equipment consisting of cylinder heads with a higher compression ratio, carburetor jets, and bypass valves available for high-altitude driving. American Automobile Association technicians put seals on each car to ensure conformity with stock car requirements. And they're off! Hammond is over the mark first, closely followed by Schmino, and then by Schultz. The course is lined on every side with spectators attracted by the promise of thrills galore as they scale the heights. Schultz takes the lead, closely followed by Schmino. Oh, look at those boys dig in on the turns, and how those V8 load. You know, most of the race is run on low gear, with motors turning as fast as 4,200 revolutions a minute. At times, the cars reach a speed of 60 miles an hour. The skilled drivers shift gears at the turns from second to low speed without lifting a foot off the accelerator. Every minute, every step of the way is a searching test for engine, car, and driver. It takes plenty of skill and plenty of nerve to keep the accelerator on the floorboards, utilizing every ounce of surging ego power that flows back from the superb V8 engine. A miscalculation is no small matter, for in many spots, sheer cliffs drop away from the roadside 1,000 feet or more. If ever anybody needed complete control of a car, these drivers, and they have it. The marvelously responsive Ford V8 answers to every touch. Here's a car to trust. You may never climb Pike's Peak, but absolute control means something to you, too, in the car you drive. Can these Ford's V8 take it? Watch them straighten out after the hairpin turns and pull up a grade that keeps the driver looking straight through the windshield at blue sky. The course follows a route 12 miles and 2,200 feet long. The finish line is more than 5,000 feet higher than the starting point. Here is the test for carburetor and cooling system. Imagine running your car at full throttle for 12 miles, pulling every step of the way in second or low gear. At high levels, water boils more quickly, and yet none of these Fords had any trouble with overheating. Here is a reserve in temperature control that adds much to Ford V8 performance. Under the 3A rules, carburetor adjustments must not be made during this drive from a 9,000-foot elevation to 14,000 feet and more. An almost perfect fuel mixing and distributing system is necessary to travel through such rapidly changing atmospheric conditions. Remember, these engines at times during the climb turn more than 4,200 times a minute according to tachometer records, and that's really moving. Bus Hammond, youngest of the 3 drivers of the Ford V8s, finished first, covering the course in 19 minutes, 25 and 7/10 seconds, nearly 40 seconds below the mark set by a 6-cylinder car a year ago to win the title. Schultz and Schmino each better the 1933 mark by more than 13 seconds. Most of the course is above the timberline. Halfway up, the driver sees snow on rocks and the roadway. And once again, the Ford V8 demonstrates its speed, stamina, and power. You may need it only once during the car's life, but if you drive a Ford V8, you know it's there when you want it. Endurance means lasting performance and sound quality. And now the trio flashes over the finish line. Hammond is the winner, and not far behind him is Schmino. And bringing up the rear, only because he went off the road onto the rocks to avoid hitting a spectator, Schultz, 9 times winner of the climb, comes in last, but still the 1933 record. The 3 drivers parade their mounts in front of the observation tower as a gesture of triumph over Old Man Mountain. No wonder they are proud of themselves and their cars. Oh, it was a great race. Ah, the victor's smile. And here are the fruits of victory in the shape of a huge silver cup offered by Spencer Penrose. The Cup becomes the property of the 1934 winner until some faster car comes along. And when that day comes, we are ready to venture the prediction that it will be another Ford V-8, still the fastest, finest, and most dependable car in the field. Meanwhile, watch the...
$80,000 fans are here to see the first big stock car race of 1934. 5 popular makes have qualified: Chevrolet, Chrysler, Ford, Plymouth, and Rockney. Standard passenger cars minus fenders, windshields, and headlamps. Here are such aces as Louis Meyer, Pete DiPaolo, Fred Frame, Stubby Stubblefield, Al Gordon, and numerous other Speedway stars. And here's Art Pillsbury, 3A boss in the West, at the phone. The others are Harry Hartz, Cliff Durant, Ira Vale, and Waldo Stein. The drivers go into a huddle for last-minute instructions. Harry Hartz gives Al Gordon a final word for the big race. And they're off. 27 stock cars in a 250-mile grind. It's a sight to thrill any race fan. It's going to be an afternoon of terrific punishment for cars and crews such as few drivers can remember. For this track is dynamite. It's short, less than 2 miles, 131 laps through dust, ruts, and wicked curves. In today's race, stamina counts as much as speed, and if you don't believe it, watch them. Look at those bumps. Imagine the strain on front axles, springs, shock absorbers, steering gears, wheels, and everything else, including the drivers and mechanics. And here's Herb Balmer in 22, a Chevrolet. There goes Bob Hahn in a Rockney. Look at number 10, Fred Frame's famous Ford, winner of the Elgin Road Race last fall. And there's Woody Woodford driving a Plymouth. He's all alone. No, he isn't. Rex Mays is after him in 21. Rex Mays is gaining. Rex Mays is going to take him, and he does take him. There's Tony Galati in his white Chrysler, the biggest car in the race, but the others don't seem to mind its size. In fact, they appear to like competition. How would you like to loan your car to one of those fellows? Remember, they have standard factory jobs just like you and I drive. Watch number 7. It's Chet Gardner. Boy, what chances he's taking. There are 768 curves in driving 131 laps around this course, each one packed with danger. Look at that dust. Here's where air cleaners come in handy. I wouldn't mind having one myself. Notice the right-hand curves. That's unusual for race courses. Most tracks are built like a plain saucer, but this one is shaped almost like a huge letter B, with a straightaway in front of the main grandstand. The race is getting hot. Stubblefield in number 8 is leading. Gordon in 15 is pressing him hard. Both are driving Fords, and how they are driving them. Believe it or not, every one of those cars was completely torn down yesterday for 3A inspection. When those 3A boys conduct a stock car race, it is a stock car race. And I don't mean maybe. Here comes number 7, driving like a madman to catch the leaders. Watch him skate around that curve. Boy, is he traveling. There he goes, number 7, overtaking 14. Now watch him on the right-hand turn. Boy, he almost lost his mechanic. Mile after mile, the boys push their cars recklessly in a dizzy duel for leadership. Both Gordon and Stubblefield are taking all the dangerous shortcuts. It's a fight for the stock car championship. If Stubby makes the slightest mistake, it will be Gordon's race, or maybe Pete DiPaolo's. Pete started in last place and has been gaining steadily. His number 2 is now running in 3rd position. A smart driver is Baby Shoes Pete. Old-time drivers who have stopped at the pits say this is the toughest race they were ever in. Tough on cars, too. It takes a sturdy front axle to stand up under the punishment of those bumps. The car that can absorb that kind of treatment deserves to be stock car champion. This right-hand curve on the backstretch is one of the most dangerous spots on the course. They've plowed up 50 feet of earth between the track and infield to stop any car that skids too far. And now the drivers are beginning to smell the finish. Look at them go. It's a desperate fight with no quarter asked or given. No slowing down for ruts, curves, or dust. No time to think of danger. It's still Stubblefield, Gordon, and DiPaolo in cars 8, 15, and 2, leading the pack. They're strung out all around the course, and the race is almost over. There goes number 21. Here they come around that right-hand curve again. Boy, there's George Connors in number 14 and 99 with Al Reinke. And around the right-hand turn they come once more. Look at all that dust. It's tough on those drivers going through that. And there's number 2, Pete DiPaolo. And around they come. There's Stubby Stubblefield. in number 8, and Fred Frame is after him. Ernie Triplett in number 1, Rex Mays in 21, and Stubblefield again with 99 still after him, and Al Gordon chasing him. And there's Pete DiPaolo in number 2, roaring along, and Stubblefield goes by once more in Big 8. Watch for the blue flag. It means one more lap to go. Now it's the checkered flag to finish, and the winner is Stubblefield. 250 miles in 4 hours and 14 seconds. Gordon only a few seconds behind. Congratulations, Stubby. 10 Fords take the first 10 places. What a race, and what an afternoon.